So today, we're doing something a little different. We're going on a quest. We're going to hunt down the mythical beasts that are holding our education system captive. Yep, we're talking about the dragons of the past. And then, we're going to figure out how to slay them.
You know, this whole idea kicks off with a fantastic metaphor. The point isn't to find villains to blame. These dragons, they're ideas. They're structures that, believe it or not, once made perfect sense. But now, well, now they're just blocking the road forward. And the tricky part is, they're familiar, they're comfortable, and that's exactly what makes them so hard to see.
And that's the big question, right? What are these creatures that have become so deeply embedded in our schools that they're practically invisible? It's time to name them. Let's get into it.
All right, first things first. You can't fight a dragon you can't see. So let's start by identifying the beasts that are built right into the structure, the very bones of our school systems.
We're calling these the system dragons. Think of them as the heavy hitters, the ones that define everything from our schedules and classrooms to what we even consider valuable. Let's meet our first one.
And here it is, the industrial model of schooling. This guy is probably the oldest, biggest, and most powerful dragon in the entire layer.
Think about it. The desks in rows, the bells ringing to signal class changes, grouping kids purely by age, it all feels so normal, doesn't it? That's because it was all designed for a different era. Like a factory, really, built for maximum efficiency. But our world today doesn't run on predictability. It runs on adaptation and creativity. The very things this old model kind of stops out.
So the solution isn't just chaos. Not at all. It's a really deliberate shift. Moving from uniformity over to flexibility, from a standardized, one-size-fits-all pace to real student agency and self-direction. It's about rethinking the entire goal of what we're doing here.
Okay, so if that first dragon guards the structure of school, this next one guards what we value inside it. And that's the idea that IQ, academic intelligence, is the ultimate currency for success.
You see this everywhere. We're so focused on content, on test scores, that we totally underinvest in the skills that are actually crucial for, life. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, that's not some soft skill. It's basically the new operating system for working with other people and navigating a seriously complex world.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. In an age where AI can recall facts instantly, that's not our superpower anymore. What makes us valuable, things like collaboration, ethics, self-awareness, those are the skills that matter now more than ever.
Our third system dragon is a bit sneakier, kind of like a ghost in the hallways. It's the myth of neutrality. This idea that schools are somehow value-free zones, but of course they aren't. They never have been.
So slaying this one doesn't mean pretending values don't exist. It means being really intentional about the ones we teach. If we want to prepare students for life in a democracy, we have to explicitly teach them how to have a civil conversation. Being civil isn't about being weak, it's a learned competence, and it's one we desperately need right now.
Okay, so we've met the dragons of the system. Let's shift gears and look at the culture dragons. These guys aren't in the official blueprints. They live in our daily habits, our mindsets, and all those unwritten rules of school.
This next one, woo. This one can feel, as the source material puts it, almost sacrilegious to question. It's our deeply, deeply ingrained idea of what a teacher is supposed to be.
Just look at this comparison for a second. The old model of a teacher is all about a one-way transfer of knowledge, right? The expert at the front of the room. But in a world where you have all of human knowledge in your pocket, the most valuable adult in the room is more of a guide. Someone who curates experiences, who asks better questions, and who models what it actually looks like to be a lifelong learner. And this isn't a demotion for teachers. It's a massive, massive elevation of the role.
Dragon number 5. This is a beast I think we've all encountered, both in and out of school. Structural inertia. It's that powerful, invisible, gravitational pull of the way things are.
And there's its roar. That one phrase, "This is how it's always been done." That sentence has probably killed more brilliant, innovative ideas than any other in history. It's the ultimate defense of the past, and it's disguised as wisdom.
So how do you fight it? Well, we can't tell our students to be bold and innovative, while all the adults around them model the exact opposite. Slaying this dragon means creating a do-as-I-do culture. If we want kids to be risk-takers, then the adults in the system have to be willing to take some risks first.
And this whole culture of doing what's always been done, well, it feeds our final beast, the dragon of compliance. It really forces us to ask a tough question. What are we actually rewarding in school? Is it genuine engagement, or is it just quiet obedience?
You see this dragon's influence everywhere. When we prioritize just following the rules over actually making sense of things, we're preparing students for a world that, frankly, doesn't exist anymore. A culture of compliance treats failure like it's a disgrace, when it should be treated as exactly what it is, valuable data that helps us learn.
So, after naming all these dragons, after shining a light on them, where does that leave us? Well, it leaves us at a really critical moment, a turning point where we actually get to decide on a new story for education.
And let's be really clear about this, none of this is easy. As the source says, dragon slaying is uncomfortable work. It takes real courage to challenge the status quo, a ton of imagination to see a different path forward, and the humility to admit that maybe, just maybe, the old ways aren't good enough anymore.
Because this is that moment. This is the point in the story where we get to decide that the old monsters, the old dragons, no longer get to write the ending.
Which brings us to one final question. After everything we've looked at, the outdated models, the misaligned values, the cultural baggage, the question isn't whether we can change, it's whether we'll decide to. Is this education's moment to finally slay its dragons?